Yeah, did not even see when it cut off. Let me see, put it over here, so it might be better. I don't know. We'll see for the winds. Still a little bit more under the radar. Let me try to put it on the iPod. Might not be. I didn't even notice when it cut off. Anyway, but yeah, people are like suggesting me that I should fix her, get her fixed. Just say he's fixed. You know, he was fixed. I was like, I took him to the ASPCA truck. They used to come right there. They used to come like on Dykeman, on the corner of my house, or 2 or 3 blocks. They always used to. I haven't seen the schedule yet, but I feel like it's too young for her. She's not bothering me. People are like, oh no, fix her. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I said, like, if I find people who want kitty cats, you know, I'll get her pregnant. You know, so that she know. I don't want her. I know what that feel like, not to have babies. So why would I want to do the same thing to her? You know, I felt guilty with Ocelote. You know, like I said, like, you know, oh, let me take him when he was like 3 months old when I took him. So I don't think he remembered because he put anesthesia, you know, I always feel guilty because, you know, we're not supposed to tamper with God's creatures, but over here, like, you know, and I always tell people, yeah, there was 2 lesbians who did it. They look very, very happy to castrate my little cat. I'm like, I don't know. Let me put it like this. Why is it not staying? It's like too slippery. Just get a little bit warmer and people start acting out. Hopefully it's not going to start flying. Yeah, I'm gonna leave pretty soon, I guess. It's 2:20. Gotta return that thing. I got this, you know, like a sample box of this, you know, supposedly anti-wrinkle, anti-this, anti-that, and it didn't have the straw. You're supposed to pump it out, and they got the, you know, the bubbles they mix, and supposedly they like, whatever, you look 20 years old. Which I'm not too crazy about that. I want to walk like 20 years old, not to look like 20 years old only. You know, I say, what good is it that you look like, you know, all these, should say, like 90 years old and don't have a single wrinkle, they cannot even walk. Well, they look 90 at least. I don't know. They walk like 90 years old. The most important thing is our body, and it's like, and we neglect it. We neglect it all the time. So I guess I'm gonna go to 125th Street, the one on over there, to return this thing. I'm like, really don't feel like going downtown, but I just want 25th Street. Sure, that's $30. I'm gonna tell them, don't put it back on the shelf, because it's like, I don't know, people return shit and they just put it back on the shelf. Obviously. I don't even know why they took the straw. Or maybe it came like that from the factory settings, I don't know. Because he had like some little tape on it. I think those are the ones from Sephora, because Sephora is not giving no samples no more, and they don't have like startup kits. You know, they used to have a lot of startup kits if you wanted to try a product for, like, you know, they have box sets from $30, $60. I went there the other day and it was like, you know, they don't carry a lot of brands. You know, I asked them, you carry this? No, no more. How is it going to survive? How is Sephora going to survive? It was like, you know, you wear makeup right now, you have to wear the muscle. So it's like, it's like that. You know. Oh, and they're opening a lot of nail salons too. I guess people are putting nails on. For what? Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? I don't like to go to empty restaurants. The restaurants are all empty. You see, like, sometimes you pass by and you see like one person eating. You have to worry, you know, how fresh shit is, you know, like, it used to be good because, you know, the restaurant is always busy. They're gonna have fresh things now. I guess they buy just half of what they used to buy. Really, really bizarre times that we live in. Bizarre times. You know, you go downtown, they have these lavish, you know, outdoor dining rooms, you know, with flowers and tablecloths and shit. And some they have a little plastic on the table, between the tables. They came out with, what's the difference sitting inside and outside? If they're going to be like the tables are like everywhere, they could have done that inside. But that's just how, like, I guess they made a lot of money, you know, like, you know, a lot of the people, they rushed last year to open, you know, their sidewalk cafe. And I see that now they're, you know, like a makeshift platform where they put the tables. Some of them, they got destroyed because of the winter, because of the rain and all the snow. All that shit is like, I like that because I don't like to eat inside. You know, I told the guy over here in the deli, he's like, why don't you open the window? He got a window right there. I say, I don't like to go inside. You know, I can order and just stay there, you know, waiting for my bagel. That's all I order, a freaking bagel. And you pay right there. You say, oh, that's a good idea. You say, maybe for the summertime. Yeah, it's like my favorite store in where I live at, they have a register right at the entrance. And they have like vegetables outside. You know, there's another vegetable store, but you know, it's also like a juice bar. So the clerk is always busy making juice and smoothies, you know. So you gotta wait there until they charge us. Like, come on. Come on, why can't we be like, you know, in our home countries, you know, people, you're selling in the street, you don't have to go to the store, you're walking and, you know, shopping, you're walking and shopping, you know, like if you go to Xochimilco, you know, that's the, you know, the lake, you know, that got rivers, and you have the trajineras. And if you go there, it's like, well, be careful, don't get drunk, because people fall in there and they never find them. You know, because they're drunk. You know, I saw one time some cracker fell in and like was drunk as hell, trying to jump in another trajinera, and it was like, damn, you know. But if you're there, well, I did that like, I don't know how many decades ago. And it was so nice because we go there and you know, everything comes to you. You want a drink, somebody on the trajinera, that little boat, come out. You want food, everything. You want music. They have mariachis, they have bands. You know, you hire them right there. You get everything right there. The same thing in Acapulco. In Acapulco, I remember, well, I haven't been there in decades, you know, but when I was little, they used to take us to Caleta. Caleta is kind of like a little bit like Orchard Beach, but nice, you know, like really nice. Like there's not a lot of waves. Well, Orchard Beach is nasty. There's no current, no nothing. The water's stagnant. All that, but you know, I remember that, you know, it was right there. The water is like a beach. It's mostly for children. You bring your children, the water only come out a certain level, but you got the little trajineras, the little boats. You know, they come out and they sell all these arts. You know, everything. Those are like, I think those are my favorite times in my life. You know, to go in Acapulco. You know. This is, it was like, wow, everything you wanted to do that, you know. There was braiding hair, you know, people like, you know, when I went there, actually, that was when, I think that was like Bo Derek. I think that was the last time I went there when she came out. So there was braiding hair, culture vultures. And, yeah, that was only the 70s, you know, and the soap operas, they actually... You know, the #1 soap opera was about this Afro-Mexican woman, and she had the, you know, like Peaches and Herb. Then they had like, you know, they had banks with the braids and jewelry. Really beautiful, really, you know. I mean, that was before globalization, so everything was so magical and mysterious. It's like whatever. Now it's like, whatever, yeah, we see that, but then it's like when we saw that, you know, the African hairstyles. All the little girls, everything, they had the braids. You know, it's like the 70s and the tube tops. It's like, so comfortable, you know. It's just a tube top and leggings. They had like this satin, red and silver, like metal leggings and stuff like that. And yeah, that's I can remember. But my favorite part was the coconut this, coconut that. You know, the moment that you start getting close to Acapulco, it's all coconut. Coconut candy, coconut this, coconut cake, coconut, you know, oil, obviously. It's like lots of coconut oil, everything fresh, everything. I was like, yeah, everything was so great because I realized how much poverty and how much the segregation of our Afro-Mexican brothers and sisters, you know. I was like, wow. They look so happy. They look like, you know, whatever, you know, like, oh, you want a massage? They'll give you a massage right there. It was giving massage. It was giving, like, whatever. You would pass by and, like, oh, you want this? Like, you know, I was like, yeah, people would say, yeah, sure. Especially the crackers. They would go, like, they would get the massage. They would get, like, you know, the drink, whatever drink you want, they would go get it. And it's like living like a millionaire, but you know, anybody, almost not, I would say anybody. You see, that's what the crackers, they say. Anybody could do it. No, you have to save a lot of money, I guess. For poor people, they have to save. But you see all, you know, you got to see all walks of life. That was the beauty. That was kind of like a little bit like Orchard Beach, that you see all walks of life. It's very familiar. It's very family oriented. A lot of children, a lot of like, you know, we used to get like either a bungalow. You know, one time we stayed in a bougie hotel, the Continental Hotel. That was like, wow. It's just like, I never seen, because there was a sitcom that had that episode, you know. So everybody, it was a commercial. Everybody to go to that hotel. Yeah, it was like, that was the first high rise. That was like, and they had a pool. I didn't understand, you know, why we had to go to the pool. I was like, why we got to go to the pool? It's at the ocean right there, you know. We went to the ocean too, but you know, I guess some days we stay in the pool. I don't know. It's like unbelievable how fast the world have changed so much. You know, I was looking at a documentary on on Afro-Mexicans, you know, how they, I think it's the same one, you know, that's like, they just uploaded on Channel 22 in Mexico City. They just uploaded, and I'm like, wow, that is brutal. You know, that, because it was left out, because the previous administration did, you know, for indigenous nations, and they were saying that, you know, Afro-Mexicans was not an indigenous nation, and they had to do the paperwork and stuff like that, but they say even when it got passed, and they included the Afro-Mexican community within the indigenous nations so they can get, you know, services. It just, I posted it on Twitter. I say, you know, SOS. Your brothers and sisters are being starved to death. African Americans don't want to go see them. They don't want to. You know, like Professor James Moll said, it's like we're so fucked up in the head that we don't see as a contribution. We see it as competition, not a contribution, like, you know, for the whole race. And that should happen everywhere, you know. My country, like, I try not to, I say, like, you know, okay, you know, they are Mexicans, you know, that's more power to us. But if they are Creoles, or they just arrived, you know, second generation, and now they're like the number one, you know, voices coming out of Mexico, you know. But most peoples around the world, you see your brothers and sisters' success, you see it as competition, as a threat, as a, you know, as a threat, or threat, a threat, I don't know, threat, or, I don't know, this language is crazy. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say, other than I'm very grateful to be on the eve of my 56th anniversary in this third dimension. Like, and it's been quite a ride. It's been quite a ride, you know, like, especially the last part of the year, you know, when I have to see from with myself, you know, the silence of African American women, you know, when 83-year-old Congresswoman, quote unquote woman, because that's a devil, you know, hour-and-a-half tribute to Megan Stallion, you know. And I heard she just donated like $20 million to the Chinese because of the hate. There's so much hate in the Chinese community, and like, it's just, how can you even, where you even start with that shit, you know, where you even like, but there's nothing to fight over there, I know. Our African American brothers and sisters, they will never take out the garbage. They die. They'll die 90 years old in glory with tributes like Elijah Cummings, like Robert Lewis, you know, the number one, you know, leaders of the black society in the United Slaves, you know. That's what they are, that's what they do, that's what they like, that's what, you know, just, there's no hope. There's no hope. Without land, there's no hope. And like, for them to say that nobody suffer like we do, guess what? We suffer what you suffer, even when we got land. Now can you imagine you having no land, and you think the same crackers who enslaved you for 400 years, incarcerated, leased you out as property during Jim Crow, and even till today, to this day, you know, like they say, you know, they're still, you know, making you work in prison for 20 cents an hour, if you're lucky, making shit and stuff, you know, just so when you come out of jail, you are green, so you want to have at least $5 in your pocket. when you come out of prison. Meanwhile, you know, African Americans got at least 200, you know, non-profits, you know, really powerful non-profits. You know, the NAACP, National Action Network, the Urban, whatever, League, you know, all these organizations. I don't even know them all, but, you know, it just, it's tragic. It is tragedy. And you're like, you know, if they was only to get out of their whatever trip, every fucking trip they are, they will see the entire continent being bombed, the entire continent being, I mean, we were stolen more than 60% of our land. That's no small matter. And now you look at the history, they say, oh, there was nobody living in the north, in the upper part of Mexico. There was nobody. It was empty. You know, it was like, no, come on. It was threatened with an invasion unless we sign away the land. We was like this. Always. And defending your slave master, like, this is why I'm like, I just don't. I don't follow African Americans. You know, I mean, you see, like, really, they're not even the same people. You see a lot of African voices in the continent. You know, leadership. You see, like, you know, they're doing great things. And over here is just like excuses, like, you know, excuses, and like, there's nothing gonna change unless we create a coalition, an organic coalition, and we start, like, from the bottom. We have to start with the people who really have a track record of being at least honest. You know, now they're saying, oh, the most important in a politician, that he's not homophobic, that he is not transphobic, whatever the fuck that is, you know, that he's not a misogynist, that he's not this, that he's not that, or she, like, whatever. Like, that's not the most important. The most important thing is that it's not a thief, it's not a sellout. That's the most important. But now they're dictating the agenda themselves. Now they're the ones who should say, you know, what is the top requirement for a politician. So it can be, you know, homocentric. It can be like giving a pass to all these ratchet bitches, like, you know, and you know, loving the Chinese, because now too it's just like, if you don't love the Chinese, you cannot be in office. Anyway, till next time.